stress in there. Should current balances you haven't expected maybe should they be increased? Because if you hear anything about government, right, when they want to collect certain amounts of money, some even the president, he writes a bill, now passes to the assembly, the senate, and now the idea is to have checks and balances. By and large, those monies made available, is then able to disperse and use as his fit, right? Now, recently was on my two governors. I've already started talking. Hey, I got money now, so I did not money. I did not see money. Not the governor of Zambara said, I'm reading from the newspaper now. About that diary on Monday cried out that he met a treasury. It's not the first time. It's not the first time in politics and policy and political that these comments have come through. Almost every dispensation, you keep on hearing the same narrative. When I came to previous administration, they misused the form. There was almost nothing. How many times have they been reported about a change of God? And then some people maybe the go out or maybe the better apartment, maybe take vehicles. Some vehicles in Sussex some years ago were rented to in their mechanics for a long time. I never got back. Things like that. So one thing. Oh, by the way, it still happened in the federal previous administration about Muhammad Buhari. When he first got in, he said, I met huge debts, and the treasury was almost empty. It was empty. I wonder if we get the same thing in a few days or weeks. Hey, let's move on. Once again, we're focusing on the state. So, simple question I've asked: do you be stiffer restrictions on state governors and how they use money? Because these must are a representation of the commonwealth of a particular state. But yet, once again, we're finding the same comment. I met an empty treasury. There's almost no money. But we will do this, we'll do that. But for now, as I've just stepped in, account empty. How? And what can Nigerians mitigate this circumstance? Welcome, gentlemen, to tackle
stimulating insightful conversations. 63 Nigerian. Let's talk.
The view and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info,
So turn the volume of your radio set, refrain from derogatory or defamatory comments. If you didn't see it, do not make unsubstantiated and unverified concise statement whilst here. Phone numbers call 0817-923-002, 0823-007. Alright, WhatsApp and Telegram number available on 0809-030-6416. And take a stroll to social media, Facebook and Twitter at Nigeria Info, at Nigeria Info PH. Mike 3, hello, what's up? Good morning to you, please.
Mr. Zion, good morning to you. See, if that's what I can do today, and I want to be honest, who have nothing to do because we are
how are the people who vote these leaders handicapped?
Because some people are accountable. Because even people who you're talking about on you go into government to feel in vessels among them those are pretty early. And the bottom line, where are the EFCs and the ICC that talk to have more power to cut investigation and where is this be? I thought this is big like the eye or the up high. You don't need all the parties and said any political background. What are they doing? Now that all this House of Assembly have been their position. Can they really bank the account of their governor and they really call the government to come and answer questions? See, that is why this party is a problem. If you are just want this independent individual, I'm telling you, it will be a big corruption in this country.
But let me ask you, why not an independent candidate that might get into the office, right? Whether it is through a party or maybe it's through other summons, the question here is, it is still a person who has been charged with representative. And in this case, people have always asked, how come every single dispensation, the person who comes in starts to shout out the 5 days also, there's no money, but we're going to have this in office celebration. We're going to talk about what they've been able to achieve in 100 days, and they do so apparently. Where is the money they have?
It wasn't those who are going to get benefited at the money. The ones the money in their hands. Look at that Kayamo. Oh, Kayamo is Nigeria. We don't know big man. She can with your blessed memory. But the Kayamo tested only in its what is position. That is tell me that no matter what we do or say, the people that are shouting a large extent is because they are not benefited. So you are talking about the people. Let's look at people of integrity.
Okay, so integrity or not, how then should this scenario be cut? Do you think
let Yes, act. The analyst will be to the army. When Mr. Ion or can see accountability through the act. Therefore, now I can have accountability. The law don't give as individuals to counter this government to act for themselves. But if we can make our laws, then Mr. Ion going to wiki and done so well, the people really think that you can get I can appreciate us. Based on this section, I in no position. Let us force account, give the critic of the state account. I don't know if it's right, but for now, so there's no reason for that. We can only be saying and talking. If God have somebody that can carry a coach even on in life, you better account and let's see difference that all people will assess.
Well, thank you very much. That's Zion. Tony says, dude, we hear a story every single time they are over. Somehow people keep staying. Those who come in and keep saying they're here to change. But guess what? When they get up and then comes, they repeat the same thing. It's wash hands, Jude. Yes, I agree. It's wash and rinse. It's repetitive. The question is, should there be stricter measures or control over the state allocates? Governments maybe have maybe a bit more restriction. You know, they are trying to pay for you. Because once again, some governments are complaining, wow, no treasury. Yeah, all right, met an empty treasury. Well, we have an empty treasury. We have a bread tender. Yes, obligations must be fulfilled. Tune. into going on from here, probably to the end of the week. We'll do our very best to cover all the major issues, all the various angles and talking points here on 92.3 Nigeria Info in Port Harcourt. But for now, we're taking a look at what very often comes after the inaugurations here in Nigeria. It is the season of complaints. Very often you get to hear comments concerning what the past administrations from several states didn't do or failed to do, or in some cases some will pinpoint ineptitude. Now, that being said, the most common has to do with finances. Now, recently, the Zamfara State governor, the new governor of Zamfara State, Mr. Dare, says, hey, look, I don't have money. The treasury is almost empty. But it's not the first time. It's not the first time. Because like I made mention of, that the former president, Muhammadu Buhari, also made similar comments, during his very first tenure, stating that the treasury was almost empty as when his administration took over. All right, fine. Governments have to spend money. After all, governments all over the world, and Nigeria is not exempt, borrow to fund capital expenditure, borrow to improve infrastructure. The aim of borrowing is that such infrastructure will, in a time, whether short, medium, or long term, generate enough revenue to offset, to pay out the debt that they were used for initially. However, many Nigerians are not particularly pleased with what has become, as it were, the runaround table when it comes to treasuries. Did your state governor make any announcement to that? I don't know. But some governors have made, and that's our talking point this morning. The question which has come forth now is, should there be stiffer restrictions beyond what is observed right now to the state government coffers? Is that going to help, in quotes, solving this problem of we don't have money, there was no money, the previous government, they finished all the money?
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
As always, do well, turn down the volume of your radio set and refrain from making derogatory or defamatory comments. Do not make unsubstantiated and unverified claims. Very importantly, do not make comments that will be seen as inciting. The numbers to call: 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003. Did you get those numbers? Please permit me to repeat. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003. So when you call in, just get through to the call screener. Your details will be taken and then you'll be patched through to the console here in the studio. Now, if you want to engage with us, we have social media handles on Facebook and on Twitter. You should be following to get the latest comments and conversations in this country. So the handles are at Nigeria Info PH for Facebook and Twitter, at Nigeria Info PH. At Nigeria Info PH. We're talking about state government treasury, and I asked the question, should there be stiffer restrictions to accounts of states in Nigeria? Do you think that will forestall, and obviously maybe reduce to the bare minimum this, in quotes, cry of no money, empty treasury whenever administrations change? I'm also curious though, this is just coming to my head, how come when a government is going through its second tenure, right, it rarely comes out to say, oh, the money is finished though, the treasury is empty, the last 4 years that we worked, we finished the money, we don't have money? I'm curious. I rarely hear that. But anyway, what really what really just Jude know? Good morning, Jude. The duty of citizens is to vote people into government. They are not involved in policy making, but will be considered in policies made by the government they voted into office. A successor who assumes office does not cry of empty treasury for nothing. We have institutional problems. If the EFCC and the ICPC are up and doing, the Code of Conduct Tribunal would arrest a lot of outgoing governors. But a successor does not have an excuse in order not to perform. A succeeding governor must understand that governance is premised on the altar of thinking without a box. If the treasury of the state is empty, bring up economic policies that will bring in cash flow to the system that you govern. No matter how empty a treasury is, you will find a minimum of 300 billion naira in the state purse. Really? Are you sure about that? There is nothing like empty treasury anywhere. It is mere administrative blackmail by succeeding governments. Barry is in mile 3. Oh dear. Apologies to Barry. Interesting comment here. Person doesn't believe that there's any such thing as empty treasury. In fact, the person, let me read that line, right? It says, there's nothing like empty treasury anywhere. It is mere administrative blackmail by the succeeding government. Really? Well, don't forget, we operate a federal system of government. Every month there's the federal government allocation, the Agunje or, the pocket money. Wherever you want to interpret it as, that comes through from, Abuja Central. Boom. But, and this message is from Charles, by the way. I think Charles may have a point because almost every state, at least within the federal government of Nigeria, ought to have internally generated revenue sources, right? And some of those sources, apart from taxes, I know some state governments have some businesses that they run or manage. Those businesses should be making money. Maybe Charles is onto something here, right? Maybe Charles is actually making a lot of sense. Maybe there truly isn't any such thing as empty treasury. What I know. Good morning, Jude. This is from Adolphus. All right, Adolphus says there are laws made to regulate all the activities of our leaders. Unfortunately, the laws are dormant. Has any case of empty treasury been investigated and prosecuted in Nigeria? Has there been any punishment for offenders to serve as a deterrent? Whichever restrictions or policies you introduce will not yield any results until we change our mindsets here in Nigeria. That's from Joel Adolphus in Degema. Good question, Adolphus. Very good question. Back to the phone lines now. 0817-923-0002. 0817-923-0003. WhatsApp, Telegram, available on 0809-030-6416. 0809-030-6416. That's where you'll find us on WhatsApp and Telegram. Then please use at Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH. All right, here this morning as we talk about the Treasury. Well, on Twitter, Bruno says no state governor should get a loan with a repayment plan that is beyond his tenure. Okay, that's not a bad idea, is it? I'm no economist, Bruno, but if what you are stating, right, comes across to me clearly, basically, if any government is taking a loan, well, the period of repayment should be within 4 years, right? That's this first tenor or whatever tenor he's in. 4 years and no more. That might not be a bad idea. That might leave room for the governors to become more strategic in their thinking towards approaching, state government coffers. Because if you don't know, some of your states right now will be paying debts for the next 40, 50 years. No joke. Some states will be paying debts for another 40 plus years. And obviously Nigeria too will be paying debts for years to come. But anyway, that's every country, or at least almost every country. Even the US has debt. Talk about debt ceiling a few days ago. All right. So let's move on. Thank you very much, Bruno. That's on Twitter. At Nigeria Info PH. At Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and on Twitter. At Nigeria Info PH. That's where you find us on Facebook and on Twitter. Now, more messages coming through on the WhatsApp platform. 0809 030 6416. 0809 030 6416. Good morning, Jude. A stiffer way for governors to not get their hands fully into the pocket is for these contracts, particularly the big contract, to be determined by the Senate, by their local House of Assemblies, and not by the governors or their friends or their cronies. If a board is directed at validating every single contract, not just the governor expressing, delivering everything, you will find that more people will have more things to say about what a governor has done, can do, and will do. Interesting comment there. So rather than the governor submitting the budget or certain amount, okay, want to build roads, for example, Senate House of Rep, please give me the money so I can pay for this person to do. Rather than that, right, the governor would have a limitation, and then a board would be set up to handle, in quote, those big contracts. The governor, yes, can weigh in, can make maybe inputs, but is not going to expressly sign on rather on those projects. It's not a bad idea, is it? Dude, good morning. Under public sector accounts, government accounts are not run to have balance because there's a lot of work to do. So why will government save the money? Okay. We're learning. That's from Iheanacho. All right. Let me repeat that statement. And if you think Iheanacho is correct, or you have a counter view, I would love to get to hear it. All right, please. Now, Iheanacho says under public sector account, the government accounts are not run to have balance because there is a lot of work to do. Why will government save the money? But isn't the government meant to save the money for rainy days? Isn't it prudent for the government to have a store should, major things happen, the unexpected? Take, for example, if there's flood in an area, if the government is run in such a way that, no money is saved, where would the government get money if it hasn't saved or kept something aside to address those kinds of issues? I understand the narrative. You're not just saying that, look, the government is meant to use everything that comes into its coffers for the people, not necessarily to save and keep, to do osusu, but it's meant to be utilized. But you're not sure, is it really everything that must be utilized? Iheanacho replies, the government will always have money because they operate with taxpayers' money. Taxes. But that brings us to another question. How many people regularly taxes? Documented taxpayers. How many of you are? But not about the one people in the market shop. Caution, by the way. No, that's not what we're talking about. Anyway, thank you very much. Back to the phone line. 017 923 000 0817 923 003 0817 923 0007. Please, as always, time volume for rated callers. Also available Telegram 0809 030 6416 0809 030 6416. And we have our Facebook and Twitter pages at Nigeria Info PH at Nigeria Info PH. I started just trying to call the WhatsApp number. Please call the WhatsApp number. Alright, if you have a message, fine, you can use the WhatsApp number if you like to speak to us, please have phone lines, dedicated phone lines that you can use. All right. It's not that I don't answer your calls there, but it's the reason they're called dedicated phone lines. Please. All right, this is a message. I have read this comment, Charles, talking about no empty treasury anyway. Let's continue this. It's also right to them that the first 100 days won't be very rosy, but when the point now, first 4 years, right? The citizens have little enough to do to any treasury cry of incoming government. It is the duty of the EFCC, the ICC, to go after any state with some government cries of empty treasury. Interesting. About individuals, Jude. Individuals are 10% of revenue. The government owns the world. Only company tax alone can run into trillions. Okay. See, the issue of mandating every local government man, state governor, and the president to hand over a certain amount of money, right? Interesting. For next admin ban. Should be a law mandating that every local government chairman, every state governor, and the president to hand over a certain amount of money so that the next administration can start off. Big bang with that comment. Do you agree with that? So, in fact, some very interesting suggestions have been made for this morning. I think this is. My mind is just through percentages now. Imagine if the budget or the actual saying maybe it's 2%, you kept aside, and then every year is collated, pushed. When a new one comes, for the first 100 days, what happening to as it were fall back on to at least maybe pay that. Then not a bad idea. Not a bad idea, truly. I'll be honest. Phone lines. I'll wrap up this morning. 817-923-0002. 817-923-0003. All right. You can send us a message and please do turn the volume of your radio set. All right. Message is 0809-030-641-630-641-6. All right. You send us your messages too. The new girls on playing a meeting in Treasury. Aside from the IG of federal locations, what's wrong security votes? Most governors ought to rest in jail up and down. They are the problems and not really the federal government. Sad. That's another. Not the whole main mention about security votes even being cut because of COVID and all of that. But yeah, once again, what is done with these things? That's what a lot of Nigerians. It's a lot of Nigerians ask this question these days. If your number ends with 992, you're calling the wrong number. You're not called that number to make a connection. You can send a message, right? You can be on WhatsApp, or preferably please just call in. All right, we're up here by saying that I'm surprised with some of the comments I've read and some of you are sharing your views on subject matter. From a layman's point of view, it can't be worrisome. But like someone said, well, government and government coffers shouldn't be around to balances, just to keep moving, keep making. It's a continuum. But I think the perception that comes through to most Nigerians is that when they have not no money, it basically feels, you might not be able to succeed. You've already been set up to fail. Finance is not there to need of people. If that be the case, be overcome, because it is becoming very repetitive. Someone say, there is no money in this government account, but we'll survive. Yes, we'll survive. But like people say, billions coming from taxes, you doesn't know. Always, thank you for being a part of conversations.